Hi everyone, this is Chris with Gunk and Liquid Wrench. Today I'm going to show you guys some helpful tips for maintaining your RV this fall. So something that I do once a season, fall and spring, is lubricate all of the seals on our camper. So that's around the doors, external compartments, all of that. So what I use is a little bit of Liquid Wrench silicone spray. Do a really quick little spray, wipe off any of the excess so it's dry. And what that does is it helps protect the seal, helps it last a little longer, and helps keep water out whenever you close it. So something that's a real must-have when camping or using any kind of trailer is a ratchet strap. Now I have a love-hate relationship with these things. They're great when they work, but they're a real pain in the butt whenever they stick or lock up. So I usually leave mine out. Definitely in the off season, it stays out in the weather for 3 to 4 months, getting rained on, and these things do rust up and lock up. So something that I do before I put my camper away every year or at the beginning of every season is use a little bit of Liquid Wrench penetrating oil. Just do a couple of little quick spritz and all the components that that move, and we're good to go for the season. Something else you may have on your camper or trailer is a trailer lock, something similar to this. These things typically are made out of stainless steel. Sometimes if you get a little cheaper one, they will rust, and usually where they rust up is right in the joint or in where the key goes. Do a couple little spritz right into the joints, into the lock mechanism, and we're good to go for the next 3 to 4 months. So I take my camper to the beach several times a year, and I always try to get oceanfront views, and I always get tons of sand into my jacks here. So this is one thing you don't want to fail on you or have trouble with getting down whenever you're out at the campsite. So what I use before every trip is, again, a little bit of penetrating oil onto some of the levers, anything that moves, and just kind of coat it down, let that dry out, so that way the next time I use it or put it down, I don't have any issues with rust locking or seizing this thing up. So sliders, they are a must-have for any kind of large camper. These things are great. They give you tons more room, but they can be sometimes a hassle to maintain. So something that I do, use one of two products. We either have our garage door lube or our white lithium grease. What I recommend is, depending on where you take your RV or camper more often, the garage door lube is gonna be more of a dry lube, so it'll spray on wet and then stay on dry. And then you got the white lithium grease. If you've ever used this, it'll spray on wet and stay on wet. If you use the white lithium grease, give it a little spritz on all the moving components, all the gears, and then wipe off the excess so you'll have less chance of dirt sticking to the grease. Since I take my camper to the beach a lot, what I use is the garage door lube, since that goes on wet and stays on dry. If you don't have a good secure connection with the vehicle, you could have issues with braking and with your signals on your trailer. So one thing I use is the Gunk contact cleaner. Just give it a little quick spray into the connection. So let that dry out for a couple minutes. Once it's dry, you plug it in and you're ready to roll. So if you're anything like me, you spend all your money on the camper and you don't have any money left for an air compressor and or a generator if you do a lot of primitive camping. So worst thing that can happen is you don't blow out one tire, you have issues with 2 tires and you only have 1 spare. So I always keep a can of this on hand just in case. So that way I have a better chance of getting this camper somewhere where I can get the tires serviced or replaced. So another thing I use to protect all of the locks and anywhere a key goes in is a little lock lube from Liquid Wrench. So what this does is that you can just spray it in there. It goes in wet, stays on dry. You stick your key in there, wiggle it around a little bit after you spray it in, and you're good to go. I have some issues with my hinges starting to get a little rust on them, and they'll just kind of squeak, which is annoying. So I use a little Liquid Wrench lubricating oil. Just give it a couple little spritz right into the joint. You don't need a lot. Wipe off any excess, and you're good to go. Thanks for stopping by and watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful in some way. If it was, please give it a like. Subscribe to the channel to see more content like this, and we'll see you in the next video.